What's shaking, team? You already know it's your boy Sir V, back on that abused VQ type shit. So you know it's always something, baby. Gotta come through with the oil change just to make sure this engine will hold up and be up to snuff. So when I'm ready to do this swap, definitely the upper and lower oil pan will be good to go, and for me to swap over to the new engine. So I definitely am doing my best to keep up with the oil changes. I did put some miles on the car, but I definitely want to make sure that the upper and lower oil pan are good to go. So draining everything. You see the old oil filter, it should be damn near bone dry as of right now, but I'm just letting it drain so we could get this out the way. Let me show y'all the two things that I found now that I was under my car. Like I said, there's always some shit. So let's come up top, team, right? I'm doing my oil change, and you see this here? I don't know if y'all can see that, but this is your AC low pressure refrigerant hose. My shit is leaking. I can clearly see why my shit don't keep any Freon in it, because this shit got a leak. So this, I'm going to need a new one and replace. So I think that shit was like $130, $140, something like that. You know what I mean? Just to get the OEM part. You know what I'm saying? I know they got some cheaper joints and some used shits. Yeah, I know I'm not about going that route. So I would definitely cop a new one here so we could keep the car nice and chilly. Alright, my second thing I came across, yo, my fucking power steering fluid out of nowhere started getting low, right? So I just put a little bit more in there, and as I'm doing the oil change, I came across this. I got a fucking leak. I believe it's the hose, because you can see how wet it is over here. You know what I'm saying? The oil is leaking here up front. So this right here that's wet is leaking power steering fluid. Ain't that about a bitch? Let me see if I could zoom in for y'all. This shit right here. Y'all see my, what's that? The inner tire rod, the boot. That shit look nice and saturated and wet. That's fucking power steering fluid that I believe is leaking from the high pressure power steering fluid hose. Let me see if I can get a good shot of that for y'all, man. Well, let me wrap up with the oil change so I can get that back in there. You know what I'm saying? See, that shit is leaking. Then we got the filter off. So let me finish with the oil change and let's get it popping. But you already know, for me, I have a 24mm oil drain plug, because you know I get funky with my shit. I got the Mishimoto. You know, I gotta give it up, you know what I'm saying? So, got the Mishimoto, and keeping it Reggie Miller for right now until I do the engine swap. I got the Mobile One extended performance oil filter. New one over here. Fresh bottle over here, and we're gonna slap that lookie in it, baby. That lookie always work, man. I highly recommend if you got a high mileage engine. Well, so this is my oil setup for right now, on how I do my oil changes. I'm really thinking about switching over from Mobile One to Motol. I heard some really good things about that. Especially when I get the new engine. I kind of got a bottle of that shit already lined up, so I don't know if I need a bottle or two, but got that. Would definitely also throw in the high mileage oil stabilizer. Matter of fact, check that. I might just go with the regular Lukey oil stabilizer, being that the engine that I'm getting, the shit is damn near fucking brand new. So I wouldn't need this, but I would probably get not the high mileage, just the regular oil stabilizer. And then I see what's up as far as oil filter. I don't know if Motol makes one to accommodate their oil, but that might be my switch over when I do the HR swap. So we got drain plug back in nice and snug, nothing crazy. Now y'all know what the next thing is. Pop this joint open. We're going to take our new filter Make sure my hands is clean. With the new oil filter, I'm gonna dip our finger in the new oil and run it around the outside of the seal so we can lock in the freshness and lubricate the ring right here. So let's do that. All right, team, see it's that's booyah. Finger, a little bit of that fresh oil, and we're just gonna run our finger around to lubricate that new seal, so we're good. And now we're gonna go and install our oil filter. Let's do it. All right, team, new oil filter is on. There we go, new oil filter. But now at the end of the day, I only put on this shit, I only put my oil filter on like hand tight, as tight as I could get it with my hand, rather than using like a oil filter wrench or anything like that. Cause that shit gets to a point to where that shit is on so tight, that should be so aggravating to get the fuck off sometimes. But let me try and bring y'all back here so y'all can see it. There you go. Let's switch over to this side and you'll be able to see. Booyah. See that? Fucking power steering is fucking leaking, and I think that's the high pressure hose that is leaking from right there. Ooh, like that. Right there. Where that where the switch, power steering switch is. It should look like it's leaking right there. Let me see. Boom, right there. I see a leak coming. So I'm thinking that's the high pressure hose. I mean, I know that is the high pressure hose, but I'm thinking that's where it's leaking from. And I could possibly get away with changing it now, but it's like I'm gonna be doing the engine swap in a couple of weeks. So I'm just gonna keep enough power steering fluid. I actually stopped by Nissan this morning to pick up some power steering fluid, and I'm just gonna keep the power steering fluid container full. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that I have enough power steering fluid in there on every drive. Cause honestly, if it was leaking, not to say it wasn't leaking bad, I can't call that, but I definitely heard like it was low, and I felt the stiffness in the steering wheel as I was turning. So that's why it's good to get up under your car yourself so you can see some of this shit, man. So this shit is definitely leaking. I definitely need to probably put in an order for a new high pressure power steering hose. That's looking like that's where the problem is. Yeah, you see I had it a little bit further up. It probably is off a little bit due to the tilt of the car being jacked up, but I think I'm definitely just gonna keep my power steering reservoir filled, just so I know I don't fuck up my power steering pump. Definitely don't want to go in for a new power steering pump when this one is working, so we'll just keep enough power steering fluid in here. My other problem is my low AC refrigerant hose. Like I said, this shit has a leak. You can see that right there. So that'll be the two things that I order ahead of time, so now when it's time to do the whole engine swap, we can get it popping. But let's just get the oil back in the car, because it's definitely overdue from the way this shit was sounding. Let me actually wipe the funnel out just to keep most of the contaminants out, because this shit is looking a little dirty. So for me, I'm only gonna put 4/5 of this in there, being that this is a 5-quart jug. I'm gonna put 4 of those 5 in, and then we're gonna substitute that last quart with the lookie, baby. You already know. So you see, if you can kind of see it, there's it's right here at the line. So this would be the last quart of oil, and now instead of putting that in, let's get the top, put that up. And we're gonna substitute that last quart with this last thing of some lookie, baby. I'm telling you, the shit works, man. The shit definitely works. I find it a very helpful and useful additive if you have a high mileage car. Even if you don't, I just find that the oil stabilizer, like I said, Joe, It's formulated to fucking work, team. Like, trust the process. I've been using this shit on both of my Maximas, my 5-speed automatic and my 6-speed. This shit works. It's definitely a good look, team. All right. All right, team. So you're gonna take the top off. I just take the whole damn top off the joint, and then I go in because this is something you just want to follow, but this shit is thick. You know what I'm saying? Like, see what I'm talking about? Give it a squeeze. You see that shit could build up to drain in, right? So, yeah, you see how thick that shit is, man. But it definitely helps. I will tell y'all. I'm saying this shit definitely does help. So we're switching out a quart of our oil with a bottle of this, which would pretty much be the 5th quart of oil. But this definitely helps. It quiets the engine down for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know this shit needs new guides, new tensioners. Ain't nobody doing that shit on this old ass engine, bro. Definitely do this engine swap, but this will just keep me up to snuff, making sure like I said, my upper and lower oil pan will be in very good, if not great condition for the swap, because you know that's one of the main things you swap over to your HR engine as well. So just want to make sure that I keep up with the oil changes, definitely doing the oil stabilizer, and everything should be wavy, team. You know what I mean? Wrap this up, finish draining this in there. You know, safety first. Jack stands. See my jack. I got, you know, my 2 jack stands under here. And we just make sure everything is good, man. I'm gonna go in and see if I can't clean up some of this damn power steering fluid leak, and just so I could really keep an eye on it and see how bad it is, so I can kind of monitor and measure it. Let's go. All right, team, so that's my oil change, you know what I'm saying? That's how I've been giving it up for quite a few years with my Maximas. You know, make sure you put your engine oil cap back on. Make sure you reinstall your drain plug. Of course, make sure you lubricate the seal on your new oil filter, slap that on. But yo, for the most part, besides this damn power steering pump leak and this damn low pressure AC refrigerant hose, because I see you can see it better now. You see the green leaking. Yeah, man, definitely time to change both of those, man. But I think I'm gonna put in an order for this, put in an order for that, and just have those at my mom's crib ready. So when I pull up and it's time to do this HR swap and snatch this old bitch up out of there, I'll have those and we'll be good to go. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm really concerned about, making sure this oil, this upper and lower oil pan is good and we in here. So you already know. All right, so we got all the fluids and stuff in the car, team. Let's just get down jack stands. Like I said, I always safety first, team. Always tell y'all safety first. Safety first, man. You know what I'm saying? Done had these jack stands for years. Done had this jack for years. The shit's never leaked on me at all once. But I'll always stay with the jack stand. Safety first, team. Let's go. So let's get this shit down and let's get ready to finish calling this shit a wrap. All right, team. After finishing this damn oil change, figuring out I got a high pressure hose leak and a low pressure AC refrigerant leak in that hose. We're gonna put in the order, but we done for right now. Let's start this bitch up right quick. See how we sounding, man. Way better than it did before, so it definitely needed an oil change. That Lukey definitely helped, team. Like I said, you already know. It's your boy Sir V, aka that OG. Like, share, comment, hit that subscribe button. We in here, baby. Stay locked and loaded. That HR swap is going to be devastating to these streets. Definitely don't want to miss that. You done know. Let's go. Fuse VQ type shit, squad. Let's get it.